I am my I am presence, and I am one with my Father, Mother, God. I am also one with the I am presence of every man, woman, and child on earth, the entire company of heaven, the angelic kingdom, the elemental kingdom, and Gaia, Mother Earth. I give heartfelt and sincere thanks for the sacred gift of my life. I ask my I am presence to consecrate every thought, word, feeling, and action which I express throughout this day with more love and more light for myself and my world. Word, I am word. I know who I am in truth, what I am in truth, how I serve in truth. I am here, I am here, I am here. I am here to be only truly helpful. I am here to represent Him who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do, because He who sent me will direct me. I am content to be wherever He wishes, knowing He goes there with me. I will be healed as I let Him teach me to heal. O cosmic birther of all radiance and vibration, soften the ground of our being and carve out a space within us where your presence can abide. Fill us with your creativity so that we may be empowered to bear the fruit of your mission. Let each of our actions bear fruit in accordance with our desire. Endow us with the wisdom to produce and share what each being needs to grow and flourish. Untie the tangled threads of destiny that bind us as we release others from the entanglement of past mistakes. Do not let us be seduced by that which would divert us from our true purpose, but illuminate the opportunities of the present moment. For you are the ground and the fruitful vision, the birth, power, and fulfillment, as all is gathered and made whole once again. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie down fresh and green on the pastures where He gives me repose. He leads me beside still waters. He revives my soul. He leads me on a path of righteousness for His name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow, I shall fear no thing, for thou art with me. Thy love and thy light comfort me. You have prepared a banquet for me in the sight of my foes. My head you have anointed with oil. My cup is overflowing. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. I am prosperity. I let go of the misconception that anyone or anything can withhold from me all that this abundant universe has for me now. I am an open door, and all kinds of riches flow to me now. I am an irresistible magnet with the power to draw to myself the supply of all good things according to the thoughts, feelings, and mental pictures I continually hold in my consciousness. I realize that I'm responsible for my life situation, and I have the power to create whatever I wish in my life. As of this moment, I choose to create for myself a life of health, success, happiness, and prosperity. I know that this universe is filled with God's abundance, and I accept these riches into my life now. I choose infinite abundance for myself and for all humanity. I know all of my needs will be perfectly met at all times. Rapid changes come in all aspects of my life as I now open my mind to the unlimited resources of this universe. All of my financial affairs are now in perfect order. I love doing my work, and I am richly rewarded, both creatively and financially. I give my love, my gifts, my all and I am therefore rich, well, and happy now. I am prosperity. Take a deep breath. I am the open door for the violet flame. Finishing up. I am my I am presence, and I am one with the I am presence of all humanity. As one voice, one breath, one heartbeat, and one energy, vibration, and consciousness of pure divine love, we invoke the most intensified frequencies of the fifth dimensional crystalline solar violet flame of God's infinite love that cosmic law will allow. Beloved Saint Germain and your legions of fifth dimensional violet flame archangels, we ask that you blaze, blaze, blaze this violet flame with the power and might of 1,000 suns in, through, and around every thought, feeling, word, action, memory, and belief that humanity has ever expressed in any time frame or dimension, both known and unknown, that is reflecting anything less than heaven on earth. Transmute this energy, cause, core, effect, record, and memory back into its original perfection and seal it in an invincible force field of God's comprehensive divine love. We accept that this activity of light is being God victoriously accomplished, even as we call. We also accept and know that this violet flame is increasing daily and hourly, moment by moment, with every single breath we take, until this sweet earth and all her life have ascended into the fifth dimensional crystalline solar realms of light on the new earth. And so it is. Beloved, I am. Beloved, I am. Beloved, I am. One more. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sorrow, joy. O Divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are forgiven, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. We give thanks, we let it be. It is so, so it is. Ashe, Aho, Alhamdulillah, Amen, Namaste, Shah, peace, peace, peace. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Take a deep breath. As one. Okay, my friends, well, there we go. We're off and running. Welcome to Morning Poems and Prayers, Year 10. Rena Starr, rock and roll, Rena. Bless you. Good to see you, my friend. How's life in Santa Monica? Yeah, let's catch up sometime. Where are we? It is Tuesday, the 10th of March. We are 11 days from the spring equinox of this lifetime, my friends. By all accounts, I was just listening to another astrologer. She tells us there will be 9 planets in Aries next month, April. And she's describing how February, March, and April is the pivot point, is the turning point, is the new trail, the way forward, the break in the case, the clarity from the confusion, the reset button, where the veil falls away, and you see clearly who you are, why you're here, and what you're about, in regards to that, we had Elizabeth April on last night, and boy, did she bring the medicine. Yeah, this girl says it's go time, the ignition point. This woman, I don't know her name, I just discovered her this morning. Elizabeth April, vital message from Kinetic, message from the Galactic Federation. Kaboom! It's about 20 minutes. I'll let you pick up on that yourself. But this is the tip of the spear. This is the cutting edge of the cutting edge. Absolutely. Hi, Rena. So yeah, it's great to have a moment to, when two or more are gathered together in my name, there am I in their midst, says our buddy Yeshua. And that's my experience. So we're praying in, we're blessing, we're meditating, we're opening our hearts, we're shining our light and sharing our love. Here's one from Sister Maria Kafkios and her self-mastery template. This is short but sweet. She says, let us pray together. So you can close your eyes if you like. I now command that I alone as God, sovereign, free being, are in full command of my thoughts, in full command of the direction of my mind. I am the master of my mind, brain, emotions, and behaviors. Therefore, I am master of my soul, spirit, which I dedicate to Christ. With all my heart, mind, soul, and monad, I decide to reclaim my right to own my thoughts, to command my brain, and devote my mind, brain, and nervous system to the purposes of the divine mind of Christ consciousness and the eternal living light of God. Take a deep breath. God, God is all that is. I pray with all my heart, mind, soul, and my monadic self to assist and support my strength, clarity, and alignment to the divine mind of God as God would have it be. And so it is. Take a deep breath. We give thanks. We let it be. And so it is. Beautiful. All right, I'm going to keep rolling here. I put up from the Course in Miracles Pathways for today. We're on lesson 232 in Mia's wonderful group that I managed to get there about half the time, but very grateful. About 19 months into the journey. Wonderful group of souls. Mia's a beautiful teacher, amazing teacher. Lesson 232. Be in my mind, my Father, throughout the day. Father, Mother, God. This lesson is reminding me that being with God is being in a state of mind where there is a knowing of comfort and safety. As I let this feeling wash over me, I realize how important this is, to accept and know. I also realize that there are aspects in my mind that really need this healing comfort. I grew up in a church that taught that God is love. I remember seeing the words, God is love, in big gold raised letters across the front of the church. Yet I am aware that I also carried an image of God as ready to judge and punish. I believed that he kept a list and checked it twice for who was naughty and nice. I wasn't sure I wanted God knowing everything I did. It's like the feeling of driving by a police car and wondering if I was going to be stopped for something I did wrong and didn't even know I was doing. It's a reflection of underlying guilt that was carried and seemed to be just waiting to be discovered and punished. Gratefully, this lesson is presenting a different perspective of God. This is a perspective of love that is ever present and unchanging. It is a place of safety and comfort, a place of refuge and healing, and most of all, a place of peace. There's not even a hint of condemnation in God. His only thought for me is love. As I allow that thought to flow through my mind, it brings a wonderful sense of calm and quiet joy. Deep gratitude inspires me to share this love with all my brothers and sisters. Love is all I want to offer and all I want to see. If there is a call for love, the only response in my heart is to offer love. In this world, where form is perceived as real, love seems to take many forms. As I let myself be guided by the Holy Spirit in my mind, I will always offer love in the most appropriate form in the moment. It is not for me to decide on my own, but merely to allow myself to be led. Thus, I will extend the love I feel from my Father to all my brothers and sisters and know it for myself. And in closing here, she says, in truth, God is in my mind and everyone's mind all through the day. We can't really remove ourselves from God because God is what we are. As we are willing to open to God, open to our source, we return to remembering we are safe in God eternally. This and only this is the truth. My practice today is to remember this and be aware of God's presence and God's peace all through the day. Take a deep breath. Pathways, which is a commentary on each of the daily lessons from the workbook of A Course in Miracles. And I believe the link is there with that post. Abraham, cravings are going to occur to you. That was lovely. Cravings are going to occur to you. So here's the rule of thumb about eating or about investing in the stock market or about anything else. If the impulse comes from a joyous thought that feels good, follow it. If the impulse comes from an uncomfortable thought that felt bad, don't follow it. It's pretty simple. Yeah, there you go. That's it. Eileen Caddy. It gets easier as we see the fruits of all that. And of course, as time is speeding up, as the dimensional planes are increasing in vibration with every passing day, this weekend was just massive energy. Several people I know, aside from myself, were all wiped out. I'm still in recovery here. Guidance for the 10th of March, Eileen Caddy. Ready? Buckle up. Why not use what is yours to use? What is the use of having an electric light in your room if you fail to switch it on and fill the room with light? Why not keep turning to me for help and strength and use all those wonderful gifts which are there waiting for you? Cease struggling on your own, for when you know me and love me, you will want to be ever aware of me and of my divine presence. You will want to walk in the light, for where there is light, darkness is no more. You generate light by your positive, constructive living and being. Therefore, allow nothing negative in you to dim that light. You may need to do it consciously until all negativity falls away from you and you learn to live positively all the time. It may be a real effort for you to do it to begin with, but gradually it will become as natural to you as breathing. Take a deep breath. Thank you. All right, well, I was amazed to discover that Patricia had done another video 2 weeks ago, which I had not seen until yesterday. A reminder of who you are, which is the recording, her video version of the prayer that she gave to us in the newsletter, which I've read over the last couple weeks from the middle of February. But we'll definitely do this before we finish out here today. It's called a reminder of who you are. So we have that to look forward to. I am on tonight with my LifeWave group for the Light Patch, and that's a Zoom call. Everyone is very welcome. It is at 7:30 Ireland time, which is 8 hours earlier in the Pacific, and 5 hours earlier. Oh no, it's 7 right now because of daylight saving. 7 in the Pacific and 4 now on the East Coast. Diego E. Behrman, let's go, Diego. Here we are, my friends. Going deep, diving deep. The countdown begins, 11 days to the equinox. New timelines settle into the body. This was March 9th, 2026. Dear friends, we begin a new week, and we also begin the conscious countdown to 20th March equinox. The eclipse corridor may have closed, but what it initiated is still unfolding. For many, this phase is less about dramatic revelations and more about embodiment. The new timeline settling into the nervous system. Note, talk about the nervous system, the choices, the rhythms, and the way you carry yourself through ordinary life. If you've been feeling tender, slower, or unusually sensitive, please be gentle with yourself. This is something my dear Annie and I talk about quite a lot. Yes, we got to slow down. If you're not in the flow, slow down. Deep integration often looks like subtle recalibration. The body becomes more honest. The heart becomes more precise. The system starts refusing what it used to tolerate. This can feel like less energy for the old life, but it's often the first sign that a truer life is taking shape. This is why I love reading Diego. He is right on the money. As we move through these 11 days, you may notice small but meaningful shifts. A clearer no, a cleaner yes, a stronger instinct to simplify, less appetite for noise, more desire for coherence. Lee Harris and Greg Braden and Heart Math and Heart Coherence. More willingness to protect, other things I'd like to talk about, more willingness to protect your time and your field. These are not minor changes. They are the practical markers of a new timeline becoming livable. Yeah, remember when you got something new for Christmas or your birthday? Or maybe you moved house when you were a kid, or you started a new class, or you got onto a sport team, or you got into a play that you wanted to do, whatever, something new. It's like that feeling, you know, like I've never done this before. Let's see what this is about. Looks exciting. It's like that right now, my friends. Yeah, raise your appetite for taking on the new. This is also a week to practice choosing from the inside out. Not from urgency, not from pressure, not from proving, from alignment. If your nervous system, ding once again, softens, that's information. If it tightens, that's information too. Let the body become your compass. The timeline you are meant to live will feel steadier in the body over time, not more chaotic. Hey there. The equinox is a threshold of balance and reset, but the way you arrive matters. If you sprint into it, you bring distortion with you. Slowly and deliberately in the direction you're being called. Move slowly and deliberately in the direction being called. If you sprint into it, you bring distortion with you. If you arrive protected and coherent, you bring clarity. So let this week be about strengthening your foundation, steadier routines, clearer boundaries, simpler choices, quieter inputs, and more respect for what your system actually needs. And remember, timelines don't only change through big decisions. They change through consistent embodiment. That's a powerful phrase. Whoop, I just lost my place here. Take a moment. La 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 la. We'll be right there. La 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 la. Am I this far down? Yeah. Just one more paragraph. Thank you, thank you. Timelines don't only change through big decisions. They change through consistent embodiment. I think my Yeah, the life that was an amen on that. The life that is meant for you, pay attention. The life that is meant for you is built through the small daily agreements you make with your own truth. One honest choice at a time, one boundary at a time, one act of self-respect at a time. And then he gives us his pitch for his work. And we say, thank you, Diego. Move gently today, but commit to what is true. The countdown to the equinox has begun, and the new timeline is not asking you to rush. It is asking you to embody. Protect your field, honor your pace, and let the next chapter meet you from a steadier foundation. Have a wonderful week. Much love. Diego E. Behrman. Take a deep breath. All right, so several things. Your nervous system. Yeah, what stood out for me when I first discovered the Walk for Peace online a few months ago, Bhikkhu Parakaru and his 20 merry band of followers walking barefoot through the heat and the snow, 2,300 miles over 108 days or so, was the power of it, the presence of it, but the loud vibration of it in their quiet and dignity and in the depth of their discipline and devotion. And it was palpable to me. I could feel it every time. It was very, very inspiring and continues to be. So I'm just saying that for myself, like, I know my nervous system needs a lot of TLC, quite honestly. That it's going through big changes. I'm letting go of old ideas and healing deep things, as we all are. And it's a roller coaster some days, for sure. And I'm up 1 minute and down the next. I'm in control and aware 1 second, and it's topsy-turvy time the next thing I know. And so be gentle. What I'm hearing and practicing, striving to practice, be gentle, be focused. I did some of the deepest Lazarus meditations I have this morning. Champions of Pain, Ordinary to Extraordinary, and Harnessing Crisis. And really, for me personally, since, where are we? This is Tuesday morning. Sunday night, I think Sunday night, the bottom dropped out for me. And it was like, whoa, it is coming on hot and heavy. So I'm just being, plus getting sick. I don't get sick much these days. I would like to have more energy in general, but I'm still working on that. But yeah, it really put me down for a few days to deeply slow down. So there's a gift in everything, and I'm looking for that. But what I listened to that I also want to talk about is Lee Harris did an interview with another chap, and very much talking about just, what can I say, the deepening power of truth, and listening to and trusting and following our inner guidance, as my guides talk about. And just really, you know, we're in the uncharted waters of this lifetime, and the bottom hasn't dropped out yet, but everyone promises it's on its way, my friends. Yeah, I mean, the phrase that Pam Gregory gives us is the world will be unrecognizable. Well, that's not what a human being likes to hear, frankly, when planning your future. But the grace of all that, if there is such thing, and I believe there is that you go within. And so if we have a meditation practice, if you have prayers to draw on, if you have guided journeys to work with every day, if you're taking time and making space for peace as often and as deeply as possible, etc., then you're a clean and open space for grace and for the divine to work through you. So Lee Harris is good. Elizabeth April is good. Her 20 minutes here was about, he was talking about that, Lee Harris, and heart coherence. And, you know, again, that love is the most powerful force in the universe, but most of the time we're in our heads. So if we're not making this journey head to heart teach my mind, heart teach my mind, heart teach my mind, and blessing the day and blessing Iran and everything else that's going crazy out there. That's how we take our power back. We don't live in fear and denial. We live in courage and prayerful activism, spiritual activism. There it is. Yeah, and the other message here was, I did hear and I posted another wonderful new channel. I mean, the information is just flowing in. This was a lady who's channeling Mother Earth, and I'll find her name here. She said that to stay strong in the midst of these wars, because this is part of the healing of ancient hatreds and wounds and karma. This is not to wash my hands of anything. We're all in this thing together. But to understand that for some people, this is the best they can manage, which is quite sad, but it doesn't mean it's not true. It's the best they can manage right now. The whole story of America bombing these girls in school, 168 children, and then bombing their parents when they came to dig their bodies out, is just unspeakable. It's just unbelievable. So that they haven't burnt down the White House yet is kind of a mystery to me. But everybody needs our prayers, including us. And it's time to ask God to use us every day. That's what this time is meant to be, so that we're not getting in the way, you know? I shared this with you as well. I'm kind of hopping around at the moment. Oh, there it is. Jesus, talk about timing. I was just going to speak about this.
You wake up every morning and you hold your own conscious.
You said it wasn't.
So this is my buddy Del Bigtree. We've all followed and loved Del for 5 years to explain the medical intervention, and I'm a huge fan. Anyway, he gets quite spiritual here.
The spiritual warfare. How do you fight a spiritual war if people are not conscious?
You wake up every morning and you hold your own consciousness and say, I'm a vessel for the truth in this world. What am I supposed to do today? And forget about the long-term goal. That is not yours to decide. God is going to decide how this all plays out, and God knows what each one of you need to do. Hold yourself in God consciousness. Hold yourself in the spiritual idea that we are evolving and we're a beautiful people. And then when you ask, what am I supposed to do? Say yes to that thought that comes into your mind immediately. That is all you can do. That is all any of us did. I did not predict I was going to put Robert Kennedy Jr. as HHS secretary. I did not know that Vax would do the things it would do. All I did was, today I'm going to make a movie and tell the truth. Today I'm going to tell Robert Kennedy Jr., I think you should run for president of the United States. It's crazy. It looks terrible on paper, and if we all thought it through and how's that going to work out, no one would have ever moved. We would have just sat there petrified. You know, the paralysis of analysis. Stop analyzing where this is going. Who cares if it's going to be in the food? I don't know if it's going to be the tobacco. None of us know exactly what this agenda is, but what they need is our compliance. They need us frozen in fear, thinking about how big this is and how gigantic it seems to move. You want to move a mountain, you move it by moving one grain of sand at a time, and focus on your grain today. You are here for a reason. We are born right now for a reason. This is our time. You are God's people. We will win this if you get up every morning and say, this is the most important time that's ever been. We as a species are being asked by God to do something and do it.
I'm blown away. I'm absolutely blown away. That's just the most brilliant thing I've ever heard Del say. And of course, I'm talking about that. I look up and there it is on the screen right in front of me. Yeah, it's almost like there's a higher power. Yes, ma'am. Okay, so are you getting the message? It's what Elizabeth April ended up with yesterday is saying you're more intelligent than you know, you're more powerful than you know, and you're needed and wanted on the front lines. It's go time, as my new astrologer here said. So just take a moment, take a breath into all that. As long as we have the resources and the opportunities, we need to keep moving forward. Because as my guides said in the channeling, and they've said this many times, you and I are what is not imagined in this world. You and I, like I was channeling it last night and mentioned the autist kids from the telepathy tapes. And you need to study what they have to say, my friends. If you haven't listened to the telepathy tapes, catch up, because that is some of the most powerful transmissions of spiritual wisdom, enlightenment, and love that I've heard in this lifetime. And it is well worth your time and your energy. Yeah. Let's see. We'll give you a little Elizabeth April here, because it's, I don't want to just quote her. I want to share her message here. I'm going to go to the last 10 minutes, I think.
To the corruption, observing it and saying, I don't agree with this, regardless of who they're blaming, right? The downfall to blaming one side is that you're still in polarity and you're still choosing sort of a lower frequency, because you're attaching yourself to the emotional negativity of that sort of victim mentality, right? But it really a perspective on some people who are very limited in their scope and their anger and their projection of corruption, because ultimately they're still doing some good stuff for humanity. They're still observing corruption and not consenting to it. So I don't know, that kind of helps lift my mood a little bit on some people that I have in mind. Anyway, I just thought that was really interesting. Definitely changed my mind about it. Okay, me. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you. So speaking of choosing timelines, I usually just say love and unity is one timeline and fear and separation is the other timeline. What can we do to ensure that we are choosing the higher timeline over the lower one? Kinetic. You need to start tuning in to the messages of your soul. Follow non-resistance from your soul, which usually involves resistance from the mind. Choose the lighter path over the denser one. This is a navigational discernment tool you all must spend time working on. Listen to the discomfort. Do not distract from it. Listen to the freedom you feel upon making a choice in a higher frequency. Eventually, you will know the difference between your choices and naturally gravitate to the choice that lights you up instead of dimming you down. I'm just going to repeat this one part because it's so important. Follow non-resistance from your soul, which usually involves resistance from the mind. Ain't that the truth? Anyway, so good. Okay, yeah, one last thing. Me, thank you for that. I know I could talk to you all day, but I guess as an end statement, what knowledge could you give us that can help shift us into a higher frequency? Like right now. Kinetic. Ready? It's time to unmask yourself and step into the truth of who you have always been. You have been hiding. You have been safe, but you have not been living. You have not been in charge of the reality around you. You are more powerful, more brave, more intelligent than you have been leading yourself to believe. It is time, our beloved ones, to rise to your full potential. Me, thank you so much, Kinetic. I will see you in just a few days for the Galactic.
Take a deep breath. That's it. Braver, more powerful, and more intelligent. And the time to hesitate is through, Jim Morrison. It is go time, my friends, yeah? Just got a new one here from J.KUSEL on the wire, and then we'll do Patricia. I think that's about right. So thanks everyone for being here. Lorna Byrne, sometimes I don't know what God is up to, but I do know that he is up to good and only good. Only love and hope and peace for all of us, because love and hope and peace changes everything. And we all know that within our hearts, everything goes back to love. Take a deep breath. All right, and where's my new Judith? A moment, please. Home stretch. There you are. Exponential changes. Okay, divine timing on this. Okay, it's a bit long for my taste, but here we go. I know that all of us are truly feeling the extreme winds of changes blowing through all our lives and on all levels. Love, Judith. Many are finally waking up to the truth. And of course, this has its own consequences. At first, shock, then denial, then anger, and all the rest, before finally realizing that all paths lead within, and that forgiveness is more freeing than holding on to the pain and hurt and disillusionment. Simultaneously, those who have chosen to ascend are splitting from those who are choosing to stay in the old earth and repeat the same old negative patterns over and over and over again, even as the old earth disintegrates. We are being pushed beyond the beyond, where our own soul has all the navigational tools, the expertise within, and not the outside world. Definitely not AI. Every soul on earth has free will and choice. We are all sovereign. Therefore, your own free choices determine the outcome. Yet through this all, there is so much to be grateful for, to fully embrace life and live more abundantly, to keep on putting one foot in front of the other, to keep on sowing the seeds of love, of joy, of new life and new beginnings, of hope, of balance, of encouragement, good cheer, insight, wisdom, and so many more. To keep the focus and vision of what you, from the depths of your heart and soul, wish to create and contribute towards the greater whole and unity into the new golden age of love. She says, I do this every single morning. I affirm what I truly now wish to manifest into form and being, fully embracing my sovereignty as a true daughter of divine source and claiming my birthright of life and life more abundantly, and whatever else I wish to co-create in the highest and best, most loving ways for the highest good of all. As I do this, I so often just sit in stillness and with so much gratitude. as this is indeed a momentous time in any soul's journey, cosmically, and indeed why we are on this planet at exactly this time. And when I do get sidetracked or whatever, I keep reminding myself of this fact and choose to do the inner clearing and transmutation work and get back on track. For indeed, life is not about what others are doing or not doing. It is all about what you are doing and not doing, and fulfilling your own soul's purpose and mission with love, deeply inspired from within. We cannot always choose the circumstances in which we find ourselves in the outer earth, but we can choose how we react and how we choose to express our deepest soul truth with integrity and become a beacon of light, love, and wisdom, paving and showing the way, sowing those seeds of love wherever we go. Love, hope, and courage with faith go hand in hand, and so does inner peace and joy. J.KUSEL, take a deep breath. Well, that's just damn perfect is what that is. Thank you very much, Judith. Wonderful. Good, good, good. Okay, here we go. A reminder of who you are. Patricia Cota-Robles, 9 minutes.
Precious heart, this is a reminder of who you are and why you are on earth at this auspicious moment. We are in the midst of a rare and vitally important opportunity. During this time, our Father, Mother, God are encouraging all of us to go within to the divinity of our heart flames and to focus on the reality of who we are, which is encoded there. We are being assured by the company of heaven that this is a moment for which we have all been preparing for lifetimes. What we are being encouraged to do now is the last phase of this preparation. On February 17th, we will be blessed with a new moon annular solar eclipse, which will pave the way for a Saturn-Neptune conjunction at 0 degrees Aries. This extremely rare conjunction, which will occur for the first time in over 6,000 years, will take place on February 20th, 2026. This powerful eclipse series will build in momentum and be brought to fruition with a total full moon lunar eclipse on March 3rd. The company of heaven said that with the transfiguration of the psychic astral veil of illusion, which was accomplished in 2024, and the unique awakening that took place within the mass consciousness of humanity in 2025, the influence of this rare Saturn-Neptune conjunction is going to affect humanity in very positive ways that will catapult us forward to a new level of our divine potential. That is why our Father, Mother, God are encouraging us all to go within to the divinity of our heart flames and to awaken the remembrance of who we are and why we are on earth at this time by listening to the following words from our Father, Mother, God as often as we are inspired to do so. This is the truth about you. Of all of the knowledge and wisdom of the ages, There is not a single truth that is more important for you to know at this moment on earth than this. You are a child of God. There is not another soul in all of creation that is loved more than you by our Father, Mother God. This is true regardless of who you are, or where you are from, or what your mission is on earth. This is true regardless of how far you may have fallen into the abyss of the illusion of separation, or how high you may have soared into the realms of illumined truth. You have a unique golden thread of life that you are weaving into the tapestry of the divine plan now unfolding on earth. Your golden thread is just as significant and just as critical as every other soul's golden thread evolving on this planet. Your light is essential during this cosmic moment. You volunteered to be embodied on Earth at this time to fulfill a portion of Mother Earth's ascension process. You chose to express some beautiful manifestation as you release the unique perfume and music of your being to bless all life. You have a fragrance and a tone that is unlike any other ever released by a child of God on this precious planet. You have something sacred blazing in your soul that has never been known by another. Some beautiful gift of life which your I Am presence alone can externalize. This is the moment you have been preparing for. This is the time when you will join with the collective heart of humanity and love this sweet earth and all her life free. You have the absolute ability to accomplish this mighty feat because you are a magnificent, multifaceted, multidimensional reflection of your Father, Mother God. You are a radiant sun, expressing all of the various frequencies of divinity, pulsating in the causal body of God. You volunteered to be an instrument of God, and you are participating in the greatest leap of consciousness ever experienced in any system of worlds. You are now in the process of co-creating with the rest of awakening humanity a new octave of Godhood. Your service to the light is expanding the body of God without measure. You are lifting every particle of life ever breathed forth from the core of creation into the dawn of a new cosmic day. Beloved one, feel these words as they resonate within the flame of illumined truth in your heart. Remember, this profound truth is for you and for every other human being on earth. Feel the light of God within you, expanding and expanding, as you, at long last, experience the realization of your own divinity once again. And so it is, beloved, I am that I am.
Okay, take a deep breath. Amazing, incredible. All right, my dear friends, we do a little channeling here to finish up. Thank you for being here. You're very welcome to share this. That was Patricia Coda-Robles. That's a lady who's 80 years of age, I believe. And she's been channeling for 58 years. And I cannot imagine the last 10 years of my life without her love and wisdom and incredible selfless service and the guidance that she's brought through from the company of heaven. Annie and I often talk about there's only there's only about 10,000 people who watch her videos out of nearly 9 billion people on the planet. We're in a very small club, my friends. And as everyone is telling us, you matter. And there are no accidents. And this is not a rehearsal. And this is what you've been asking for a long time. And now it's here. It's been a long time coming, but now it's here. I think that's a Springsteen lyric. So you're welcome to come on to my patch Zoom call. This is my commercial break. This is the X39 LifeWave patch. You wear it for 12 hours a day. It boosts your stem cells. I've been on it for 18 months, give or take. You get a month's supply in a little envelope like this from DHL. Get 30 patches in there. It's about $135 for a month's supply, which works out to about €4 a day. So about the price of a cup of coffee if I walk out the door to my local coffee shop and ask for a latte. And Annie and I keep laughing about my hair. It's getting darker still every day. It's helped me enormously recover from my health challenges, etc. So keep that in mind. You can go to thisisitinfo.com. You can go to lifewave.com/Lou Martin, or you can go to LifeWave Team Ireland and get the info on that. I always put the links for the Zoom calls Tuesday night and Wednesday night on LifeWave Team Ireland. And if you're really interested, please reach out to me because it is not only a modality of wellness, is how we're allowed to describe that, but in our communist world of language these days, but it is, bless us, in censorship, the land of the free, as Groucho would say. But we're also, it's an opportunity to have a stream of income if you are wanting to learn to do that as well. It's a joy. It truly has been a joy. So, my friends, let me pray out here with you. Let me do a little channeling. My cup runneth over, and I wouldn't be here without you. And I thank you for what you do to make the world a better place. Go ahead and close your eyes. Turn within. Take a deep breath. Here we go. All right. God bless you, dear friends. One more time, a pleasure. Take a deep breath. Well, the tempo is accelerating, dear friends, and everyone is trying to keep up, with the march forward. Pardon the pun. In this month of March, dear friends, marching forth, yes. And integration, dear ones, is what your nervous system is all about. So to make the shift, very simply here, dear friends, to make the shift from 3D duality of a carbon-based form of life, speaking of light and patches and all of that, wonderful, into the 5D, fifth dimensional, crystalline, solar light body, God bless you indeed, dear friends, yes, is going to be a bit of a leap. We'll tell you right now. It's going to take some doing, dear friends. But the good news is Almighty God, Goddess, all that is in charge of the whole thing. And you are, God bless you indeed, the cooperative components, as our friend Abraham would like to say here. You are becoming, with each passing day, dear friends, we see and celebrate you for all of this, more available, more open, and more willing, dear friends. You know in your own life, the channel's seen this in the patch process, the patch story here, that you can make people think, but you can't make them act, nor would you want to, dear friends. The bridge of belief, to the point here, is to help people to learn how to think new ideas and new possibilities that are outside of the old paradigm, and to invite them to discover, dear friends, the infinite number of advantages that are there in an expanded version of reality. How do you like that? Yeah, which is true for all the paradigm shifting creations that have been or will be coming forth in your world at this time. Take a deep breath. So, dear friends, the light and love of all that is always available. And you, as a conscious co-creator, are being invited, called, and encouraged, dear friends, at this time in the journey, to step up to the very edge of that paradigm and cast your nets upon the waters and ask for, it was beautifully expressed by Del Bigtree, ask for God's guidance in your life each and every day, to give yourself wholeheartedly, dear friends, unreservedly, joyously, fully and freely, to the greatest vision your soul and spirit hold for your life. At this moment, if you're willing to do that, take a deep breath. Dear friends, that's a powerful prayer. And as you sit in this moment or any moment where you call upon your higher self, soul, and spirit, your guides, guardians, teachers, and friends, God, Goddess, all that is, you have our full attention. And it is from that place of attention that your heart's desires, your intention, can meet and merge and blend together and create a new reality. The nervous system is the front lines of the bodies and mind and spirit together, mind, body, and spirit as one program, God bless you indeed, of letting go of what is no longer wanted and needed and opening up to and receiving what is now desired and even required, dear friends. In other words, simply put, to be free. Dear friends, we love the message from J.KUSEL and her prayer every day as well. You're hearing this from the leaders of this earth, dear friends. The joy, the joy and courage and clarity that is coming forth is what you've been asking for lifetime after lifetime. It is here now, dear friends. It is available, not because of some special dispensation, dear friends, but because heaven and earth must come together again to fulfill the destiny of your soul's journey in this world. You are the children of Mother Earth, and she is your conscious and loving and enlightened co-creator, dear friends. This is why every time you honor Mother Earth and return to nature, you are blessed and you are healed. Take a deep breath. The modern world, dear friends, the contrast of technology and the mind and creation and AI and all of that is seeking a balance, dear friends, we're going to put it that way, so that the human soul and spirit can both be nurtured and nourished by the life force of Mother Earth and the sun, dear friends, and all the elements, the elementals, and co-creative with the imagination and the intelligence and the intellect. Dear friends, the mind is a wonderful servant, a terrible master is the simple way to remember that. The heart knows what the mind struggles to believe and comprehend. And however, but when you are practicing every day, going into peace as often and as deeply as possible, dear friends, when you are meditating, when you are consciously breathing, when you are giving yourself time and space to listen to the ohms and the mantras and the sacred chants and the healing music and the programming music and guided meditations, dear friends. So you're opening up that beautiful subconscious mind, and you're clearing the old and putting in the new program. God bless you, dear friends. We got there. So simply put, once again, dear friends, your heart knows the way. As you bless and give yourself to God for this day, enjoy knowing and believing that all is well for you and those that you love, and that you love the world and you love Mother Earth. So we will clear the path, dear friends. Your nervous system, your heart, your intuition is the feedback system, the repository, the receiver of the blessings and the inspiration, the love and light of all that is as you. So, dear friends, this is Homo Luminous. This is being the light of the world, not a metaphor, a physical reality expressing itself in a physical form, bringing heaven and earth together. You are the bridge between heaven and earth. All that is required, dear friends, is for your willingness to trust beyond what you've imagined, beyond what you've believed possible, beyond what you've seen in your own experience. Dear friends, the world is a radically different place than you have been programmed to accept, believe, and understand. And as the mask is getting revealed, dear friends, and you're seeing beyond the disguises, the illusions, the deceptions, the manipulations of fear and lack and greed and selfishness and violence and anger, all of those negative energies, dear friends, trying to intimidate and dominate and control. God bless you indeed. So you are standing as the peacemakers in that space for grace, dear friends, where the miracles will demonstrate through you and to your world that all things are possible for those who love God, Goddess, all that is. That with love all things are possible, dear friends, that the Christ consciousness is not out there, ever, yet it is in here, always. And dear ones, as your soul becomes your best friend, your intimate guide and companion, your higher self becomes the translator and the bridge between your soul, spirit, and yourself. And as you allow your concept and experience of manifestation and reality creation to become not by default, but by design, dear friends, there we go, we got there, so you can truly shine your light and share your love with the world, with your loved ones, with all that is. Dear friends, God, Goddess, all that is, loves you, knows you, protects you, prospers you, blesses you, heals you, inspires you, guides you, nurtures you, and understands you. It is yours, dear friends, to let that be more real and more exciting and more important than the sound and fury signifying nothing of this world that is dying, and for you to be the way showers, the dream weavers, the visionaries, the peacemakers, the lovers of life, the poets, the prophets, the priest and the priestess, dear friends, of your own authority, of your own authenticity, of your own authorship. Dear friends, stay in love. Come home to your heart and be free. We love you so. You can feel this. You can hear this. You can understand this. It is time. Peace and blessings. Namaste. Thank you. Yeah. Excuse me. Thank you for all you do to make the world a better place. If I can help you, let me know. Peace and blessings. Namaste.